said, somebody asked him what did they want with Nimrod, and they said, oh, he was remarkably preserved. He said, what did they want with him? They said DNA.
Yeah.
For Nimrod, because he was the original Antichrist.
Yes.
Just saying.
You're good. Yes, Nimrod, even Father God complimented him 3 times in the Word of God. He complimented Nimrod at how strong he was. There had not been cities until him. Do you know about why he fought for the garment? Yeah, I got a yes here. Okay, so he killed a lot of people, and what he was fighting for and how he got so strong and powerful, and he's the one that first made cities, and he was in charge of 6 cities and all that. Okay, because when Adam and Eve sinned, Father killed an animal. It was the first death, first murder. He killed an animal to cover them. And I can go off on a tangent about that. My mother's a Bible scholar. She would say, so why did they cover their genitals? Why didn't they cover their mouth if it was a sin of eating? But anyway, so he kills this, and he makes them a garment to cover them. And it had power. It was Father himself made it. And it had authority. And so Nimrod fought and killed whoever owned it at the time. Not Esau. Who owned? Somebody owned it at the time, and he killed them and and that gave him the power to have people follow him. And he's the one that made the tower.
Yes, yes. But what else is interesting about that DNA thing?
Yeah, tell me.
You know about Ron Wyatt?
Yeah.
And how he found blood?
I was his neighbor.
What a guy.
Yep.
Anyways, but he found that the blood had only 24 chromosomes.
Yes.
So if they're saying that, trying to tell people that their guy has the same DNA as Jesus,
Yeah.
they're lying. As usual, they're the father of lies.
Yes.
They're lying because you can't make somebody, only God can make somebody walk around with 24 chromosomes.
Yes. You're good, honey. You know a lot of stuff. Because I tell you,
Been digging.
Yeah, 16 years ago when I got the vision, I didn't know any of this, really. I knew all the Bible stories, you know, I knew Jonah and the whale, but I didn't know deep stuff. Not like now.
Yeah.
Now, let's ask some more questions.
First time you saw our fearless leader's face on TV
Yes.
years ago, did you immediately know that who you had seen in your vision?
Yes.
You didn't even know yet who you were looking at, but you said that's him.
That's him.
Just curious. Oh, and then also the fires.
So are you referring to Obama or?
She's asking about Obama. When I first saw him, did I know that's the person that I made the drawings and the dolls? Yes. And it was very shocking. And sometimes now, Debbie, when I listen to Tom Horn and all the people you're talking about, and they know stuff that I know, I go, oh my goodness. I way don't deserve it. But having the vision has been a bit of, I'm not complaining, sir, but it hasn't been all hunky-dory. So it probably isn't for them either. But we know a lot of the same things. So when I was shocked when I saw him. He was nobody, but I mean he had only been a state rep one term. He'd only been a senator, and if you get deep into all that, you know, I don't mean to step on any toes, but if you get deep into Obama's background, he had somebody killed to be able to get out of the race so that he could get the Senate seat. So if you go into that, but I thought at the time, I know for sure that man right there is going to be president, and I know that he's going to get it the second time, and I know...
He's never going out.
No, and he's not leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you had any visions of him being taken out?
As in killed?
Yes.
No.
I have.
No, none of us get it all. None of us get it all. I have, I think that would be something to look forward to,
Well, I'm not saying that. I just had a dream now, is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. And I have people dream people dying, and then my wife gets on there and checks the obituaries, and they've died.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying that.
Rare.
No, I
Rare
think,
thing.
I think anyone who listens, if you love the Ruach and you talk to him and you listen, I think he talks to all of us. And one of the things, this morning, I'll tell you, this is,
I mean, I hope not.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
and you understand why.
Yes.
Because there's enough issues there.
Yes.
In that part of the world.
Yes.
But I can't
And
help
killing
what I
him would
can't.
not stop his whole machine.
No.
No,
It's full of
no.
Muslims and evil people and, but yeah, I would have mixed
He
feelings
was taken out
also.
with a small drum.
D-R-U-M?
Drone.
Drone, oh, drone, oh. That'd be cool to look forward to.
Yeah, kind of poetic justice, in fact. Because he's their drone-killing president.
You know the age of the Antichrist now?
Yes,
You do.
yes.
Can you tell the
No.
age, but not the age?
I don't want to, no, I'm so afraid I'll say something and displease the Ruach. I don't want to grieve him. I want him to keep talking to me. I want to be worthy of telling secrets. So,
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're good.
Did you see the thing about the little Jewish boy?
Yes,
Did you have any
Nathan.
discrepancies with him? Except for the theology.
Well, yes, that's a deep and good question. Yes, I did. It was very exciting to see a kid who was not raised in any kind of a religious home having, quote, religious kind of vision when he died. That was cool. But he could only describe it from what he knew.
Right.
And he didn't
Right.
have a wide enough, broad enough knowledge to explain. When he was talking about, Yeshua's alive today, no, he's not. He's not on earth right now.
Well, he said a lot of people know him. That's probably what he was told. He
Yeah, I
was
took it
assuming
like
that somebody he's walking.
And the rabbis led the witness.
Yes,
That
and Rabbi led that.
Say I saw him, he is, and he is alive.
Yes,
But he's,
yes.
he is everywhere. I mean,
But I totally believe what he said when he said, I went down and down and down and these people were evil and it was more horrible than I can tell you and they made me cringe at all the sins I had done and all that part? Yeah.
It makes so much sense to me, though, that he was not told that it was Yeshua. And that
said a
that
lot
it
of
was
people
veiled,
know him.
because that video would never have happened.
That's right, it
It
would
would
never
never
have gone,
happened.
that's right.
It was veiled for a very good
Yeah,
reason,
because
and I
it's-
thought that
yes.
so wise.
I think that, yes, I think you're 100% right.
And he probably knows by now.
And he
He
was
might
speaking
know
to
by
the
now, and
Jews.
maybe Yeshua has talked to him personally and said, by the way, let me give you another piece of information you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was good.
yeah, I love it.
the small number of people that were, just disappeared. I'm wondering if that might be like the 144,000 or 100,000 Jewish people that were taken up to heaven for a very short while and given their assignment and their release. As it says in the book of Revelation. But that's in the book of Revelations, chapter 6, 18. Yeah, it says they basically, but that's this.
I remember
No,
they
they're
were marked, they had a mark
Yeah.
on their forehead.
And it's
They all will.
It's like there's a lot of activity in heaven going on at the time, and there's like a silence, time of silence, there's just all this is really important time. And so if the remnant aren't going through the whole, tribulation, including the wrath part. that
Satan's
might-
wrath, not Father's wrath.
Okay. Then we do know that in the middle there'll be 3.5 years left.
Yes.
When these people with the Jewish background are
Yes.
taken out. So I'm just wondering if that might account, because not everybody really knows that they're Jewish.
Oh, no, a lot of us might be. It's possible every person in this room is Jewish. Because as we move along, as I've moved along in my faith walk, I've known a lot of people. Some of you know Val Waters. She's the one that first brought it to my attention. Val said, "Do you ever notice that when people get into Hebrew roots, they find out that they are Jewish? The real Jewish. because you know, oh, and I didn't finish what I was going to say about that. Okay, hold on. Val Waters said, notice that a lot of people who start getting interested, they go from vanilla Christian into, oh, I want to know all the truth. I'm a truth seeker. A lot of times they find out that they do have Jewish Hebrew background. And they are finding out that a whole lot of people who say they are Jews are not.
Oh yeah, Zion field.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, if you look at the big money, it's all a quote Jew.
They run this show.
Yes.
I mean, let's face it.
But they aren't really Father's people.
No,
They are
they're
not.
Jews that say they're Jews. They play the game. We know a lot of them.
Okay, okay, I'm with you. That's true.
But they're not for the Jews.
They're
And
not,
that's right.
They despise the Jews.
That's right. And they use them.
They hate their guts.
That's right. So it's a dilemma to know how to feel for Israel. We know absolutely, positively, 100% that the land is the promised land. We know that at some point in our future, we will live there. But the people who are living there now, it's a very sinful place.
Listen, we live in Thailand. There's a place up there called Sept. Hot springs. There's geysers, you know, and blah, blah. We go up there a lot. And you know some of the most vulgar people up there, particularly women, that we've ever seen in our life are from Israel. And I just,
We were shocked.
I
We
was
were
shocked.
thinking,
It is a dilemma.
Very vulgar.
It's a dilemma.
Whoa.
And when you see the things, because you know it's a haven for gay people.
You know,
And
and it's against the law to preach the gospel there.
Mhm,
Most
yes, it
people
is.
don't know that.
Yes, it is. I have a family friend that just tried for years, went to the Supreme Court to try to have the right to be considered a Jew and to live
Can't
there.
do it.
Even though he showed he had some Jewish background, because he believed in Jesus, and he has to give up his belief in Jesus to be able to be accepted in Israel. So I'll just say one more thing, and then I will get back to what Father told me to say. We know that a lot of the people that we are told are Jews were Khazarians, Ashkenazi. So you know about that, okay? Well, it leaves me with a dilemma. Do I bless them? Do I curse them? Do I love Israel?
Exactly.
It's a dilemma. Because a lot of the people who live in Israel right now are not Jewish. They are, if you go by the numbers, there's 93% of all the Jews in the world who are actually Ashkenazi. Because you're either Sephardic or Ashkenazi. And the Sephardic are pretty close to what Father wanted. They are the Spanish ones, the Moranos. And then the Ashkenazi, do you know the story in the year 800 that the Muslims were going north and they were about to get there to Kazakhstan, and the Catholics were going east, and it was about the year 800 and they were ready to meet, and they said, oh no, we don't want a war, we don't want to be them, we don't want to be them, what are we going to do? And their leader was very smart. He said, we're going to say we already have a religion. We're going to say we're Jewish. They didn't know how to speak Hebrew. They didn't have any Jewish blood. But it was pretty smart because they got to live. They weren't all vanquished. And that bloodline from Khazaria, the Khazarian people, Ashkenazi, is totally different bloodline. And they're the ones that started Yiddish. Because the little they knew of Hebrew, they met with the Germans, and Yiddish is half German, half Ashkenazi. You know, a little Hebrew. So the people, almost about 90% of all the Jews in the world today are not Jews. And those people who we thought were Jews, and I looked up to as like, oh, they're the chosen people. It might be we're the chosen people. If we knew our bloodline. Or if, like when they said they gave Abraham was, it was given to him, help me with the verse, Abraham it was credited to him as righteousness in the book of Hebrews. Okay, so
Abraham believed God and it was credited to him. Abraham believed God and it was credited to him. Right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So maybe we all have, I don't know anything about DNA. I've just recently, today, Father showed me something. You know how you've read before that the blood cries from the ground? We've all heard that and we go, no, that has to be figurative, not literal. And then today I read something that it's literal.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
So,
The DNA has a song. You ever heard that?
yeah,
And it has different song whether you're healthy or not.
yes. Now that's a very advanced thought.
Everything is a frequency.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Rebecca, stating what you just stated, we see America is run by Jews.
You mean you see the United States?
United States.
Because
Yeah,
we-
yeah.
We here are America also.
too. Yeah, we just,
And
in
we
the
were just
United States, we were programmed, we were
North
America.
Yeah, North America or the U.S. We are America also, and if you look back at our history, you will find that we accredit Columbus as discovering our land. Or do you want that to go or not?
I'm finished.
Okay. When we credit our founder, it's Christopher Columbus in 1492. So we're American also. And that's what I just, so say, so in the USA,
USA.
I'm restarting your sentence.
And that we see it's run by Jews.
Yes.
How did we end up with a Muslim president and them not stopping him?
Because it's all in one.
All in one.
He's not really Muslim and they're not
And
really
that's
Jews.
right.
They're just Jesus haters.
That's right.
The Catholics,
The Catholics created the Muslims. Do you know that? Yeah.
Actually,
Jesuits,
it
the
came
Jesuits.
We're part of it.
from India, didn't it?
India.
Well, the Catholics, his wife, Muhammad's wife, his first wife, the one with the money, was Catholic. And she, you know when he first got the vision, you know Muhammad's story, have you read that? You know, he was a nobody, he didn't have any money,
Briefly, not
he's kind of a gigolo, and she is very, very wealthy, and so she said, I'll hire you, you be in charge of my army, blah, blah, blah. One day he was out in a cave, thinking, praying, and he had a vision. And when he came back to the house, he was deathly afraid. And he tells his wife, Satan has just talked to me. She said, no, it wasn't. No way would he talk to you. Let me tell you what it was. And she tells him about how blessed he is because that was actually the Creator God who talked to him. And he got all mixed up on what was what. So our father's enemy got hold of him. That was through the wife, the Catholic wife, that caused it. And if you study all that, all the people that were around her from the Catholic Church and what she did, she made the religion. And if you study the Sunnis and the Shias, you know, well, that's off topic too. Yeah, really. And that's, so anyway, yeah, the one thing that all Muslims and all, what would you say?
Jesuits.
They all have in common is they hate Jesus. And the New World Order, what it has in common is that you are not allowed to say, I worship Jesus. You can be in their religion, but you can't have truth. Now, I want to tell you that while I'm thinking about it, the Ruach told me to tell this today. It seems completely off topic, but I remembered it when somebody said about the blood calling from the ground. Do you know the difference between soul and spirit and body? Do you know? The soul is basically your brain. It's your memory, your personality, your own traits, your humor, whatever makes you you is basically in your brain. That's your soul. Your spirit, and your body is obvious. Your spirit comes in with the first breath. It is not your spirit. It's never your spirit. It is the Holy Spirit who is sharing a piece of himself, and you can destroy it, but someday he'll claim it back. But if I won't go into all the details, but if you want to know where your spirit lives, it's at the bottom of your lungs, kind of in your spine. It's the most protected part of your body. Underneath your lungs, right before your spine. I don't know why I told you that, but Father told me to, so somebody wanted to hear that.